Welcome to the goofiest face card you guys have probably ever seen in a YouTube video, but we're trying some spirited driving today. Okay, GoPro's off my head, and I don't feel that weird anymore. But right now, this road is just kind of a straight country highway, and I don't want to go super crazy because learning Tampa, there are cops everywhere. It's also not the smoothest road, but there are like cops everywhere, so you kind of got to be careful. If you guys want to know what it's like, pick a car, okay? Just pick a car off the top of your brain. They have an undercover version of that, all right? I was like driving on the highway. It wasn't really like a highway, but kind of like a main road. And there was a red S650 Mustang GT, like same Mustang as mine, just in red, and it was ditched. And I was like, ooh, that sucks to spin off the road like that. And then I realized, no, that's a cop running a speed trap. That's what he's doing. They are undercover in literally everything. Obviously, Challengers and Chargers, there's a million of those undercover. That's just typical. But any other car, they also have them in Florida too. But yeah, I really want to try to find kind of some more enjoyable roads. Hopefully that are a little bit more secluded. Now this one is relatively secluded. Actually, I'm going to switch to my Waze. So Waze sometimes points out cops and gives you the speed limit. Okay. Yeah, also too on Reddit, it just said, hey, hit this road, go north, get lost, and have fun. So far, it's just, like I said, a straight country highway, but hopefully we get into some turns or there's some cool looking off-roads to take. Because right now it's basically just a sightseeing road. So, yeah, I'm hoping I can find like a really cool road, and then I'll put the goofy GoPro back on, and then oh, here we go. It's always been the fastest car I've ever had, definitely faster than my Camaro, and easily the best car I've ever owned. I mean, it's kind of hard to make the case that it isn't, but I never really bonded with it. You know, the two cars that I really had an attachment to was my green Gen 1 Coyote, and then more or less my black Gen 3 Coyote. Those two cars definitely had some really good times and also some really bad times, but those cars I felt really strongly for. And I'm starting to feel that way with this car, so that's kind of cool. Even though isn't my favorite kind of way to bond with the new car, not really, but hey. But we're here, and I'm really starting to grow attached. And it makes me think, okay, maybe this is my first life or car. You know, God forbid something happens to it, but the car that I just have for life, constantly building. And with all the visual mods, you know, I have told myself, like, if the channel ever really picks up, if the channel ever really takes off, then go spend way too much money fixing every single visual flaw with it. So everything with the paint, correcting that, all the panel misalignments, although they're really not that bad, and on camera they're all perfect, but just being a Ford car, a Ford Mustang, they're far from what I would call acceptable. Even though I'm pretty picky with panel gaps, like if they're not perfect, then I wouldn't call them acceptable. But fixing all of that, and that's kind of the goal with this, or doing like some crazy GTD body kit. I keep looking at Muscle AutoZone, and I see like these really cool looking full GTD style body kits, which I know is like super rice, but I feel like that would be like a super cool thing to do with this car. I'm trying to find other people who have like done the body kit before. And there are a few who've done like parts of it, mostly front fascia stuff, but they don't go full wide body. They just do like the GTD front end conversion, so the car doesn't actually get wider. They just swap out for the vented fenders, a new different hood, and of course the GTD style front bumper. And in some pictures, you know, of people who've actually done it to their car, the panel gaps look perfect, but I've also seen some pictures, specifically on the Auto Muscle website, that the panel gaps are terrible. So I want that kind of body kit to be proofed out more before I ever spend the $6,000 or $7,000 on it. But I do like all these overhanging trees. These are pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know how much of a driving, that's a really cool view. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much of a driving video in terms of like spirited driving this is gonna be, in particular to this road, because it's kind of high traffic. Now it is midday on a Saturday, but I'm stuck behind a Tesla and there's cars behind me, so you can't really go crazy. But it's still a really cool drive. Also, it'd be a really cool environment to like play airsoft in. And it's not that far away from Tampa. It's probably 30 minutes out. So this is probably a good road to revisit. Maybe do some burnouts on. That's what we'll do. We'll do some burnouts on this road. Yeah, now I'm stuck behind 3 cars that are stuck behind a big truck. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to go too crazy here. There's also a E85 station right before you enter this road. So that's really convenient too. I can appreciate a well-placed E85 gas station. Okay, we're finally turning. Or do we have to turn? Should I go left, straight, right? Question mark. If this were live, I would actually ask you guys, which way should I go? Let's try straight, because that's the road nobody else is taking here. Although it kind of looks like it goes to a dead end, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, that's a dead end, so we can't do that. Let's go left. Yeah, Florida's known for being very flat, and it definitely is, but it gets pretty hilly here. Definitely didn't get much traction there. Kind of stuck behind other cars again. I told myself for this video I was going to do a bunch of GoPro montage injected into the video, but we'll do a little bit of that, and then most of it's probably just going to be a talking head while I'm driving. Hopefully you guys can enjoy a little bit of the view of the side windows, but I just saw a sheriff over there, so yeah, this is not the spirited driving road that Reddit made it out to be. Still a cool road though. And there's I just saw some nice burnout tire tracks, so I don't know, maybe once upon a time it was. And now we're getting a little bit of rain. That's also a really weird thing about Florida. You'll be driving, it's perfectly sunny with a little bit of clouds, and then you hit some rain, 5 minutes later, the rain is dissipated. Like right now, rain is gone. Oh, that looked like a cool neighborhood road. And so I hope you guys are just like enjoying the riding along. Because basically we're just kind of exploring north of Tampa. I don't even know what city this is. I don't know anything around here, okay? Just so brand new. Yeah, and this road definitely has plenty of like rough spots that just like catch you up without you really seeing them right away. Yep. So yeah, you really actually just can't drive too crazy here. I want to make a video about this for you guys, but driving a boosted car, I would say it's probably better than driving an NA car, okay, when we're talking about V8s, you know, Camaros, Challengers, Mustangs, of course, Corvettes, you know, all in that kind of American V8 category. Boosted is always going to kind of just be the better, the more enjoyable drive, just because it's so much faster, it's so much more powerful, and it's so easy to access like that exhilarating feeling when you get on the gas, where you really have to work hard to kind of get those butterflies. In an NA car, you got to be at the right speed, absolutely in the right gear at the right RPMs, and you kind of lack a little bit. I don't want to say you lack highway pulling power, but compared to a boosted car, this thing just is a rocket on the highway. Third and fourth gear are so strong. which definitely makes boosted cars so much more fun on the highway. I think in most cases. Well, in some cases, okay? But let me talk to you about the cases that I don't think that's true. NA cars, absolutely. Okay, full bolt-on E85 NA cars, and I'm just kind of drawing back to my S550 Mustang days. Those cars are so much fun too. And it's so much easier to access kind of the upper echelons of performance that those cars can generate with, you know, just with an NA engine setup. Because with this car, it scares me. Okay, it, like, first gear, that's out the window. Second gear, you can basically eject that too. Third gear, generally you hook pretty well. I guess in second gear on really hot summer days, you're kind of okay if the tires are really, really hot. But in an NA car, you just always have traction. Even in first gear, you always have such great traction driving the car. And there's so much more levels of fun to that. When you always kind of know you're gonna hook okay. The tires may chirp a little bit, and that's, you know, pretty typical of a high horsepower NA V8, but there's such a beauty to a naturally aspirated Coyote or LS or LT. And I feel like all those like really fun spirited driving roads, I did some in Oklahoma one time a while ago, back in like summer 2023. There's so many in California that I did with my Gen 1 Coyote, which was full bolt-on NA. But yeah, those kind of roads I feel like are definitely the roads you don't want to run high boost in, or any boost at all. Like, I would pick a GT350 any day, all day, over my boosted Gen 4 Coyote setup on a road like that. On a highway, a GT350 is not really going to be, you know, it's not going to be, you know, turning the world the other way around. You're not winning roll races with a GT350 on a highway. I mean, not really. Not, you know, not versus like stock Mustangs. Actually, even still, like a stock 10R80 Gen 3, you're not going to win in a Coyote. Or, I'm sorry, in a Voodoo engine. But still, you can just access so much of the engine so much of the time, at least way more than you can with the boosted setup. And for driving roads, I feel like they're just perfect. They're just there's such a balance when it comes to, like, they're just such a perfect balance to achieve when it comes to traction and fun. You know, as soon as you start foregoing traction, I guess there's some fun to be had, but it gets pretty scary. It's a controlled fun, that's what I should say. But if you maintain traction like 99% of the time, and when you do slip, it's just a chirp or something, like when you throw it from first to second, then, oh my God, it's just a wonderful setup, and it is something I really miss. My next car, you guys probably already know it, probably gonna be a 1415 5th gen SS1LE. I feel like that'd be a perfect track car, something I could road trip, which I know those are two categories that don't really mix, a track car and a road trip car, but I definitely want to get a second car, absolutely keeping it NA. Probably gonna do almost max effort, full bolt on with it, but I really, really want to get back into the driver's seat and ownership of an NA V8 car, because they're just so perfect in so many ways. Now, would I trade my car for one of those right now? Absolutely not, because like this car, at least for everything that I've done with it, which is mostly just kind of highway driving and doing pulls here and there, it just does so well. It is just crazy fast, and just kind of knowing that you're sort of the fastest on the road, there's definitely a strong enjoyment and kind of good feeling that comes along with that. But I want an NA V8 car so bad back in my life. Well, we're definitely running out of kind of nice driving roads. Now we're sort of just back in like neighborhoods. So I know this was probably going to end up being a pretty short video, and not exactly the type of video I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more spirited driving, but checking out that road that Reddit recommended, it's definitely not like a, you know, drive fast road. That's for sure. It's definitely a fun drive and a cool kind of vibes road, but definitely not a go fast road. So to all of my viewers, you giga chads, okay? You based Mustang and car gods out there, okay? I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna end this video here, and I will catch you guys in the next one. And actually, I kind of want to start. Yeah, I'm gonna head back home, and I kind of want to start my new video series, which I think you guys are probably gonna enjoy. So, anyways, watch out for that coming pretty soon. It's gonna take probably a few weeks to really get the first episode together because there's a lot of moving parts with it. But I want to at least start getting the intro filmed and definitely up my editing game with that series. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll appreciate you guys for watching and take care.